Snake, what's going on?
Huh? Yeah, got it. Don't worry.
There. Now. 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 Now.
This is Snake. I'm done here.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Alright, let's do this. I got a lot of stuff to explain. But before I get into anything else, this video is for version 3.0.0. In the future, some characters' recoveries might get changed. This already happened with Incineroar in version 2.0.0. Just keep that in mind. Now, the way I did this was that I gave it a bunch of tries with every character and every possible way to recover with them. And then in my editing software, I checked with which attempt I got the highest in pixels and used that attempt in the video. I used the lowest pixels of the arrow above the character's head 1 frame before it started going down to determine where they scored. It might look like the line is misplaced by 1 pixel every now and then. That's because I upscaled the footage from 100 to 130 in editing, so anti-aliasing is making the arrow look a tiny bit taller or shorter than it should be. This list is based on the blocks in the background of the training stage, so if 2 characters got to the same block, they scored the same in this list. This is because there's always a chance that I could have gone like 2 pixels higher with someone, and to ensure that echo characters with the exact same recovery height would still be ranked the same, even if I got a little higher with one of them in the video. If 2 or more characters tied to the pixel, I used their character number to determine who I showed first. If a character landed right on a line, I counted it as if they landed past it, to account for magnetans a little bit. And the way I determined if they landed on the line is based on the lowest pixels of the arrows above their head, of course. Please keep in mind that this list does not account for a character's ability to recover horizontally. If you want to see a horizontal version of this video, I made one. I will link it at the end of this video, so stick around until the end for that. Just because a move changes or alters your momentum doesn't mean it helps you recovering. For example, cancelling Inkling's roller in the air gives her a little jump, but the startup is too much for the jump to be helpful. I feel like I have to point special attention to one such example, because it's kinda hard to believe without seeing it yourself. Snake's down air does not help with vertical recovery. This is because the end lag is too great and makes Snake fall before he can use his up special, which will carry the momentum of that fall at the beginning. For every character I used the most optimal way to recover possible, so if you don't see me use a momentum altering move with someone, then that's because that's not the optimal way to recover with that character, unless otherwise specified. Now onto some more character specific stuff. Every character that deals knockback to themselves with their recovery moves, like the 3 Links and Bowser Jr., were recorded at 0%. And at 0%, Link specifically does not have an infinite recovery with his bombs like Snake does. It is absolutely impossible to damage yourself enough with the bombs before touching the ground to gain height. For Kirby, I only showed the copy abilities that actually boost his recovery, and the only ones of those are Meta Knight's Mach Tornado, Snake's Hand Grenades, Robin's Tomes, Shulk's Monado Arts, and Duck Hunt's Trick Shot. I did however show every Monado art because with Shulk's ability it's both possible to boost your recovery and hinder it. The arrow above Pikachu's head disappears while using Quick Attack and reappears before he starts falling, so that's why this shouldn't really matter that much. The arrow also disappears for a little while during the recovery of Sheik, Zelda, Pichu, Mewtwo, Greninja, and Palutena. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, but I thought I'd just mention it anyways. In case it wasn't clear what Sacrifice Nana and Nana Lives meant for the Ice Climbers, I ranked the recoveries with how high you would get with Nana not making it to the stage in the process, and where she does make it. However, Nana doesn't have an arrow above her head, but in the same animation with Popo, his arrow is on his hand, so that's where I pretended her arrow to be. Yeah, Diddy Kong gets higher if you don't charge his up special at all. Even if you only partially charge it, you get the highest if you don't charge it at all. I don't know why they did this, and I don't like it, but it's how it be, huh? For Sonic and Mega Man, I didn't allow them to start with their springs on the ground to get a way bigger liftoff and the ability to use it again. This would have obviously been cheating, since you can't do this while being knocked off stage. For the tethered recoveries, namely Ivysaur, Simon, Richter, and Joker, I tried to get as high as possible with jumping and then using their tether move. Then on a custom stage, I tried to tether recover as low as possible and get a screenshot of it while fixing the camera in camera mode, then trying my best to match the character size in the video and pasting it over it. This method is kinda wonky, sure, but I feel it should give a good estimate of how good their tether recoveries are, and it's better than simply saying screw it and without a ledge to grab onto. Because of this, Ivysaur and the Belmont boys aren't pushed to their true potential here, as they can't use their tether recovery. By the way, I used the image I got with Richter for Simon since I got a little bit more range with him on my tether, and I don't want to make a huge call and say that Richter has a better recovery than Simon. This doesn't matter at all because they literally have the same recovery, I just thought I'd mention it. I want to stress however that only with Ivysaur you get more range on your tether if you use it at the same height or above the ledge. Since we're ranking the character's vertical recoveries here, I counted the tether distance you can get with the vertical version. I said this in the last video, so I won't dwell on it too much, because this explanation segment is gonna take a while anyways, but the pigment type Olimar is holding does in fact change his recovery and there are 20 possible combinations. Now, there seems to be some kind of mechanic I don't understand with Olimar's up special, or I just got unlucky because I got higher with 3 heavies with one of my attempts than with 2 heavies and 1 medium. I think you can tell why this doesn't make any sense. As you can see, I did my jumps and my up special at basically the same timing, but I somehow rised quicker with 3 heavies, making me go higher. It doesn't really matter though, since the difference is probably not that much anyways, but I thought I'd let you know that this one recovery could maybe be off a little bit, and I have no idea why. All the 19 other combinations seem to be in the right order except this one. What I personally think happened is that I got a glitch during this attempt that somehow made the game think 2 of my heavies were mediums, because I got basically the same height with 3 heavies as with 1 heavy and 2 mediums. If you know anything about this, please let me know because I am beyond confused. And yes, I know that holding up and B will make you go higher faster. I did this with all of my attempts with Olimar. Now for something else that's kinda similar. I got a tiny bit higher with Samus than with Dark Samus, and this time I don't think it's a glitch. I am convinced that Samus's recovery is a tiny bit better than Dark Samus. Because look, I tried countless times with Dark Samus to get just as high as regular Samus, and I didn't succeed once. I think that Dark Samus's recovery might be a little bit less high, which is probably due to the fact that she crouches a little bit during her double jump animation. And I even went back to check my horizontal recovery tier list video, and lo and behold, Samus got a tiny bit further than Dark Samus in that video as well. Yikes. Lucario maxed out his aura at 190%, not higher. I don't know the exact scaling of his aura, so I used 95% for his half aura recovery, since that's 190 divided by 2. Wanna hear a joke? Isabelle. And Villager did not get the same height, even though I got basically exactly as far in the horizontal recovery video with them. And yeah, Wii Fit Trainer gets a little bit higher if you don't use deep breathing. This is because her jump height decreases. Shulk's Smash and Buster Monado arts don't change anything about his recovery. Not his airspeed, not his ground speed, not his jump height, etc. It even says so in-game. This is of course also true for Kirby with the Monado as well. Okay, this isn't really important, but I want to mention it anyways. I didn't do that duck hunt bit by myself. My brother was off screen with another duck hunt shooting that can. I could not manage to do that alone. I know it's possible, but I'm not some crazy good ass duck hunt main, so shoutouts to my brother for that. With both Ryu and Ken, the true Shoryuken goes just as high as the regular version. All echoes get just as high as their non-echo counterpart, except Roy and Chrom of course because they have a different up special, and Samus and Dark Samus because Samus probably gets a tiny bit higher than Dark Samus. Bowser Jr. is a weird case though, because his clown card exploding after his up special makes the screen shake, and this also makes the arrow above his head shake. So I looked at the last frame before the explosion happens for his score. I don't really think it matters, since he is conveniently already at the apex of his ascent when the explosion happens, but I thought I should just point it out. Similarly with Cloud, if he uses Climb Hazard with Limit, the screen also shakes, but the shaking conveniently stops right at the apex of his ascent, so it doesn't really matter as well. With the Miis, I tested every recovery move they had and checked with which ones I got the highest. The recoveries used in the tier list are the highest you can get with each Mii type. By the way, I am of course doing this again when every DLC fighter is released. So for when that time comes, I want to ask you, in that version of the recovery tier list videos, should I keep using this method for the Miis? I can't do every custom move combination possible for each Mii, because that would be ridiculous. There's a straw poll in the description, please vote there. You can choose between 3 options, the base 1-1-1-1 movesets, the best moves for recovery, or use the best moveset for competitive play, since that's what you're most likely to see when actually competing, which is what this list is kinda made for. But all of that doesn't matter at all, because Snake has an infinite recovery. Well, sort of. Of course, there's a lot of things to take into consideration, like Snake's percentage, and certain launch speeds making it impossible to tech and yada yada yada. Even with all that, Snake easily has the best recovery in the game. I mean, let's be real here. Now this is where I would have made a cool ending featuring the newly announced DLC fighter like last time, but as of right now we still don't know who the next DLC fighter is. Looking cool, Joker. Thanks for the wait. Making this video took forever, and because of that I would really appreciate it if you could share this around, since the whole community would benefit from this video. Thanks in advance, and please have a good one. Also, here's the horizontal recovery tier list video in case you missed it. Just keep in mind that that video is from version 2.0.0.